Okay, welcome to Monday's mini classes. Excited to be doing like mini meditation and a mini movement practice. We're going to start with our meditation. And we're just going to get straight into it. So come to whatever position you want to take your meditation in. This could be laying down, in a chair, upright. Something that you'll be able to be comfortable in so that moving will be less of a distraction. It doesn't need to be the perfect meditation seat you might seen in pictures. And begin to fill into your external environment. And keeping your eyes closed, notice the sounds you hear in your space. And the temperature. And any other elements that might be a part of your external space in this moment. And pick one of the senses you're experiencing in your space, your external space, so not internal yet, and see if you can turn the volume up on it. You turn the volume up so much that this one thing seems to be the main event happening right now. The others you don't notice as much because you've turned the volume up on this one sense. And see if you can turn the volume down so all of the external senses are about the same volume. We're not trying to turn the volume down on anything. We're allowing it all to be here as evenly as possible. And take a deep breath in, fill all the way up. As you breathe in, can you expand what you're taking in so you get more vast? And exhaling when you're ready, breathing normally. As you expand your awareness, you might find that naturally the volume goes down even more. I'm beginning to come inside, bringing your awareness more deeper into your inner world. And we're going to start by creating our inner safe place, feeling or visualization. This is something we do in these meditations as we practice coming into contact with this inner feeling of safety. And a lot of people find it helpful to use visualization for this. So if visualization works for you, bring to mind a place that makes you feel safe. Notice what is the environment in this place? Is it the desert? Is it the beach? Is it the forest, the city? And take in some details as you turn around. Notice if there's any structures in this visualization. Is there a house or a chair to sit on? If you run into a struggle with the visualization, and take some breaths. This doesn't have to look any way. There's more than 7.5 billion ways for this to look because each of us will have a different way of doing it. And if you feel an inner contraction of not doing it right, let it go. And see if you can begin to expand this feeling of safety. We'll be coming back to this safe place, anchoring it within yourself. Now we're going to begin to explore our inner sensations. Maybe starting with the physical, noticing the physical sensations in the body. So maybe making a list of them, not staying on any one too long. Just taking inventory, noticing the thoughts in the mind, the speed of the thoughts, the flavor of the thoughts. And dropping into the heart. It was a Cancer new moon, a new moon in the sign of Cancer, which is all about emotions and feeling your feelings. So this was a intense few days for me. Normally I don't feel this new moon, the moons as much. But there's this extra energy to help us feel here. And so my invitation to you is to let yourself feel what's present. And if it ever becomes too intense, return to your safe space. And you can come in and out of that. As a reminder, feeling is different than thinking, yet feeling often triggers thinking. If the mind starts to spin with stories around your experience, that's fine. And also seeing if you can feel more than you can think. When I do this kind of work, I'm always aware of the complexities that we hold. It's normally not just I'm doing good or I'm doing bad. There's normally a lot of different experiences at one time. We can begin to learn to hold the complexities. It becomes less about trying to change things and more about being a container. If it feels like there's experiences coming up that you don't want to hold, I find it really helpful to say this too belongs. And bring your hands up in front of your heart. You could do palm to palm, or I like my hands touching my chest. And begin to expand your breath. And as your breath grows a little bit bigger, see if you can also make your awareness bigger. Holding all of these complexities, external and internal. And with this new expanded space, from your heart, begin to pour in gratitude to yourself. And gratitude for having these experiences, gratitude for going through really hard shit, gratitude for the laughs, and gratitude for the effort. Even just making time to turn on your camera this morning. And gratitude. And if there's an intention you'd like to plant for the rest of your day or week, you could take a moment and think of it and send it into your cells now. And bring your hands down to your thighs. And feel your hands on your thighs coming back to your sensations. Maybe rub your hands on your thighs so you feel a little bit more of your touch sensation. Let the eyes begin to just barely open. And as they open, let your awareness be soft and full. So not looking at one thing, taking in all of the things at one time. Allowing the eyes to blink. Maybe looking at the camera, smile. When you get there, no rush on smiling. Okay, so for the movement meditation today, I wanted to do some CARs. CARs are something I've been learning from some PTs I've been studying under. They're called controlled articulation rotations. So that's just a really good way of getting into specific joints. Normally when we do rotations, we'll take the rotations in joints that we prefer to use. And then we have some joints we use a lot and some we don't use at all. So we're gonna start standing. And we're going to start with our neck. So keeping the body as straight as you can. When we think about keeping the body straight, we think about keeping the ears over the shoulder, over the rib cage, over the hip, over the knee, over the ankles. So if I do my head rotations and like my whole body moves, I'm not getting into the neck as much. Now, rolling the chin down through the chest, chin to the chest, ear over to the shoulder. And for this one, when we do the neck, you also look your chin over the shoulder and then release back around. Chin over the shoulder. And then roll the chin down towards the chest. We'll do that same direction 2 more times. Perhaps noticing if there's a part of this rotation that you speed up through. See if you can move more slowly. And after you've done 3 in one direction, we'll do 3 in the other. Using the sensations of this movement to help anchor your awareness. So as the head rotates, can you feel and follow the stretch 365 degrees around your neck? When you're done, we'll meet standing, but no rush. Close your eyes, practice dropping into meditation if you're done. Notice the way you're breathing. Make your breath a little bit more full, a little bit more deep. not so much that it causes you any kind of distress. Now we're going to take some shoulder circles. So taking the shoulders as high as you can up to the ears and back and down. When the shoulders go back, sometimes the ribs stick out, keeping the ribs drawn in a little bit. And then we'll take them forward. Find the sticky spots where you tend to not move. Okay, now we're going to do one arm rotation. So we're going to take the hand in front of the body, trying to not rotate the body. So my body is going to want to turn that way. I'm going to try to keep myself squared forward. So I'm going to stretch my arm as far as I can without helping it. And then I'm going to take it all the way up. And the pinky finger will turn to the back of the room without turning the chest to the side. Stretch back and down. And then we're going to take it in the reverse. So leading with the thumb back, as far back as you can go. Up, up, up. Try to not turn the chest in the direction as the hand. Pinky finger spins forward and then slices across the face. One more time in each direction. Holding any complexities that come up. And we'll do it on the other arm when you're ready. Thumb leads the way. Top thumb flips backward. Pinky finger leads the way as you stretch back. Thumb up. Squeeze the scapula. Pinky finger slices down. I love the little cracks I hear as I do this. Okay, I'm going to do the thoracic spine. So cross over your shoulders, and we're trying where the thoracic spine sits on top of the rest of my spine. And I'm going to circle. Let's do 3 in the same direction and then 3 in the other direction. Sometimes towards the end, I'll let my hands hang down. Our awareness and presence is such a resource, and we can give it to ourselves. When you're done, come back up to standing and drop into your meditation. When you're done with your rotations, almost dropping into meditation as we go, I think might be more helpful than just regular meditation, because it's the returning to that can be the most difficult. Okay, now we're going to do our arms. We're going to take our hands up like this. We're going to be targeting our elbows. So we're going to make fists, and with your palms up, fists, do like a bicep curl. At the top of your bicep curl, without trying to rotate your humerus bones, your upper arm bones, spin your thumbs in and then lower. And then thumbs out. Switch. Okay, next time they come here, stay here and do little wrist rotations. See if you can keep your forearms from moving too much. Take them in the other circle. And then out and in. Okay, now we're moving on to the hips. So if you're next to a wall, I think walls are great for this for balance, or sometimes I'll use my high foam roller, but I'm using a wall right now. So standing on, I'm gonna stand on my left leg. we're going to do controlled rotations of the hip. So first I'm going to lift up my right knee, and then I'm going to externally rotate it. So my right foot's going to come to the midline. My right knee is going to come out kind of like pigeon. And then my knee is going to come out to the side. And now without tipping my spine forward, I'm going to internally rotate it. So the inner thigh is going to lift up to the sky, and the sole of the foot's going to come up to the sky. And then it's going to come all the way around. And then reverse it backwards. Foot comes out, internally rotate, knee flips up, foot comes forward. Notice if the ribs or the hips, this isn't about doing it perfect because that will fix our problems. It's about trying to get the crud in the hip that gets stuck in there when we don't move it. Okay, nice. Now we'll do the other one. Left knee up, foot comes in, out to the side, internally rotate, flip the foot up, come behind you. Get a little glute action. Really nice. Okay, that's the hips. Now we come and sit on the floor. I'm gonna sit on my block. Okay, so sitting down on the floor, we're gonna get into our knee. And the way we're going to do this, these pants aren't as stretchy as my normal ones, is we're going to headlock our right thigh. I'm gonna take my right foot up and I'm gonna reach my arms under my thigh. So my thigh is in a headlock. And my goal is to not let my femur bone rotate. Okay, this is gonna be similar. This is the knee joint, so this will be similar to the elbow. So I'm gonna lift my leg up and rotate my foot one direction, and then bring my foot, my heel down, and rotate my foot in the other direction. I'll bring it to keep it in about one spot. Just turn it in and out. And look at your tibia fibula in the front leg. You could even feel it. We're trying to get the tibia and fibula to rotate. Okay, now since we're here, we're gonna do the ankles. We're gonna now pull in the shin as well. And now I'm gonna try to just, now I'm actually gonna use my hands, I think, just right above my ankle. And now I'm gonna try to get just my foot. I'm trying to not have my tibia and fibula move. Take your foot side to side, do circles. Nice. Okay, let's do the second side. Pulling the left thigh in, getting underneath the thigh. Rotate the foot, extend it. When people see me, they think my foot's all better because I can do a lot of stuff with this turning the foot in and out. Whew, it's excruciating for me. Don't let the femur rotate, especially if you're sitting on a green rug. Okay, now you can find one aspect to keep it at. I'll get the foot, pulling the ankle in. Awesome. Okay, now I'm gonna put the feet on the floor. Angle you down. Okay, so now with our feet on the floor, we're going to do some toga. So we're going to start by lifting up all 10 of the toes. A lot of this is in the imagination. The body is like the software, and the brain is like, no, the brain's like the software and the body is like the hardware. And one of the big issues we have is the two don't communicate. So if you try to move your toes and they don't move, that's okay. Just keep trying to think it in your brain, and that will help the neurons fire. And over time, you'll get more movement. So lift and spread all of your toes, and then put them down. Lift and spread the toes, put them down. Lift and spread the toes. Okay, keep them up. Now we're going to see if we can put them down one at a time. Big toes, second toes. Sometimes I'll use my fingers. Third toes, fourth, fifth. And now big toes up. Put the other ones down. And we're going to see if we can fan them up and down. And next time they come up, keep them up. See if you can push the big toes down and then go over, spread, spread, spread. Keep the middle three up, but put the pinky toes down. Okay. Now we're going to see if we can switch. Put the 3 middle toes down. This is where my toes lose it. 3 middle toes down, and then lift big toe and pinky toe. Really nice. And give your feet some little squeezes or punches. Go up the body. We'll do a massaging the body now. We're going to take the feet out in front of us. I'm going to use my heel to help push down and massage my foot. Spreading the arch out. And I'm trying to get more movement. The feet tend to not be moved a ton because we keep them in our little shoes and we lose the movement of the feet. And then other stuff starts to happen. So as you do these compressions, trying to get those little bones to rotate. If you find a air sensational, you can apply more weight. You could do like a little rotation with your foot. And then take the other foot kind of out to the side, and we're going to begin to push with our thumbs. You have your fibula right here that goes up, and your femur, and then just to the inside of where the bone is where all of your muscles connect. And it's also where some of your meridian lines lay your energy lines. So we're going to find those at that bone, and we're going to push in and pull down just a little bit. Go up with your thumbs, push in, pull down. Can lean your weight a little bit forward to apply more pressure. You might have to flip your hands right to the inside below you get to your knee pit. You get some access into a muscle underneath your calf. And then we're going to switch. Once you get to the knee joint, we're going to walk up just to inside. So this is like where your femur and your adductors meet. We're going to walk the thumbs all the way up to our hip from here. So I'm all the way, we can be at different spots. So I'm all the way up at my hip, and now I'm coming up just to the inside of my hip bone. Yeah. Sprocket, no. And when you're done, you can take your legs out, maybe point and flex them. Notice if they feel different. And then we'll do the other side when you're ready. So we'll start with the foot massage. You can even take your foot off your calf if you want to play with that. And then we'll start our thumb line pressure up this meridian and myofascial line. Sometimes I'll do one thumb at a time. I'm feeling two. So this is however works best for you. These lines are similar to the chakras. If you know the chakras, they can have too much energy or not enough. And you can work with this pressure up the legs to help G flow more optimally. Like we're like trees. We need our roots, good flowing downward energy to support our upward structure and mobility. Great. Work all the way up that hip bone. And even like if you dig in at the very top of the hip bone, my thumb's like right up here. My pants are very high. There's my belly button. You can get into some of your psoas and what's the other one? Iliacus back there. Take your hands behind your back. Do a little bit of windshield wipers. Your hips might be feeling a little bit different after we've got more clear about the femur bone hip joint rotation. And then we're going to transition over. I might need to get here in different ways so that we're on our toes, up on my toes. And then we'll walk forward and back. Or you can decide the range for you. We're getting into our toe joints here. And then as you let the heels come back, we're getting into the Achilles, all the lines of connection to the back of the head. If it would feel better in your body to transition to Malasana squat where the feet are a little bit wider and then start going side to side, that can feel also really nice here. Because I have so little foot mobility, I'm going to stay with my feet together. This is so hard for me. And you turn a voluntary breathing deeper unless you feel like you should, but you're listening, you're paying attention. You know, include the breath. We're going to start to move into a soft knee forward fold. And bicycling the legs, bending one knee and then the other. And taking both knees the same bent, fingertips on the floor. Let your fingers come to one side and then the other. One side and then the other. Come back to or through the center. We're going to push to roll up. So in your forward fold, knees a little bent, sit bones up to the sky. Pull the low belly in a lot so you're protecting your spine, and then begin to push from your butt down to your heels. So the tailbone will lengthen down to the floor as you begin to slowly roll up. Let your awareness be grounded in the present moment by the sensations you feel from the movement. When you get about halfway up, pause and do that little side to side action. As if your fingers were still on the floor. You could touch the floor all the way from one side, maybe all the way back towards the heel and the other side. So next time you come to your right side, stay there. Bend your right knee a lot. Put the right hand on the floor. Left hand can come to the hip or stretch up to the sky. Maybe look up. And then we're going to release down, shift into the left knee. Left knee bends a ton. Left hand on the floor. Right hand to the hip or reach up. Deep breath, expand your internal world, expand your external world. Come back down through the center. And then we're going to roll up again. So we'll roll all the way up, pushing through the feet. Head hangs heavy. If at any point you want to kind of sway side to side with your upper body, you can. Once you come all the way upright, we'll meet in standing meditation. A little bit wider than hip distance. Bend into your right knee. And then slide the left hand down the body. So we're trying to stay between two planes of glass. We're doing like a side segmented roll. Slide your right hand on your body. Left hand can come up the ribs and over. It's soft. And then come out the way you came in. Bend into the right knee. Hand slides down. Right arm maybe slides up and hangs over. This can be still, or you can have some movement in it. Come up the way you came in. Feet step back together. Think about pushing through the feet and growing up to the sky. Pull the belly in a little bit so your axis is supported. And feel the access being like your safe space. So as you come into your access, you're coming into your feeling of safety. Little bend in your knees, arms soft, and we'll do a little twist from side to side. If you want to add while you twist, you can pivot and spin on the back toe while getting into the hip again. Femur rotates in the hip socket. You're looking over your shoulder because someone said your name. Nice. And then kick through the feet, flick through the fingers, maybe shake through the arms, maybe shake through the head, however much you want. Try to make it so your brain can't predict what you're gonna do next. We'll find the stillness. Hands on your heart if you want. And feel the energy of your life underneath your hands, underneath your skin. And feel your great vastness that can hold all the complexities that we experience. And it's not necessarily pushing away things, but learning to move through our feelings and still remember we're safe. Okay, you can open your eyes. Thanks so much for practicing with me, you guys. Love you both. It was a little hot outside, not gonna lie.